Are you curious about what's out and streaming out in the interwebs? We are going to talk about a few things that we have all been watching. Three of the top ones and most recent are going to be The Outer Range, Stopmotion, and Scavengers Range. All of these are actually Scavengers Reign, not Range,
You
because
got it.
that would be Outer Range. But we're going to be talking about all three of these and a few other things that are streaming on multiple different networks. Just come join us. We're just going to chill out and talk about some things that are on the TVs. Warning. The following show features reviews from wildly unprofessional critics operating without the supervision of professionals. The thoughts and opinions held by these individuals are not to be taken seriously and do not come from a place of intellectual integrity. This show doesn't reflect the opinions of Criticalist or its users. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up? What's up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Unhinged Binge. We have a name for this show, and it is coming out on Sundays, so you might be viewing it today. This is our chill, just hanging out. We're already multiple drinks deep and just hanging out, talking about shows that are streaming. Like I've said before, this could turn into a live show down the road. Maybe our reviews will actually be rolled into that as well. Who knows? Let us know what you think as far as the channel grows. But this is just us talking about some of the things that are streaming and what we've been watching lately from all of the streaming services. And we try to keep it a little more modern in case there's new things that you might or might not want to check out that we have seen. So we're going to go ahead and get straight to business because it is super late as usual. And we are running way over time because we've been having an extreme debate about what level of bad The Acolyte is. And I think that it's really, really bad. And Chris just thinks it's like bad.
Yeah.
So that's been our past hour, and Matt being like, shut up, please stop talking about this show. I haven't seen it and I don't care. But so anyways, introducing the usual suspects or spud specs, Mr. Chris Kaus
Potatoes.
and Matt Verlat.
Mashed.
Yes. So are you the boiled, Chris? Are you like a baked potato or a
mashed
steamed?
is the best.
Mashed is
yeah.
Mash
you
is the
get-
best.
It's the
Scallop?
what about scallops pretty
Oh,
good.
it's
Ooh.
real
Scallop
good.
solid, but what about French fries though too? Like that's a potato.
If you want to be a basic
Or
white
like
bitch.
hash browns. Are you a hash brown?
Ooh, hash brown
Mm.
casserole.
Ooh, a
Add
hash
a
that has like
casserole into
cheese and butter
anything.
and shit up in there.
The
Mm.
loaded
Onions
from
and
Golden Corral.
I have an erection already. Not Golden Corral.
Yeah,
You're talking
it's
about Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
White people's favorite place
The
to go.
barrel of meat.
Yep.
White people.
Yeah, the white people place. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for all the potatoes, honestly. Let's be
Yeah,
straight. I mean,
for-
they're the best. It's the
yeah.
one thing that surprises me about my son, Clark, who, like, all kids, it's like, it's meat and potatoes. And the little bastard just, like, refuses to enjoy potatoes. And I'm just like, what is wrong with me? You're not my son. I do not claim you. Go away.
Disowned.
He
So-
just likes meat.
He kind of, he just likes meat.
Hey, that's
you
fair,
can't judge
you know?
him there, I
Yeah.
guess. But it's more of like when you say meat, it's more of just like hot dogs and chicken nuggets. Those are the only meats, and pepperoni. He eats a lot of those too. So
Still meat.
it's still meat.
Yeah.
So meat or fried meat really is where it's
Still
where he
meat.
says, yeah, still meat. It's meat on the inside. So enough of potato and meat talk, which is, I mean, I could talk about both of those things forever. We're going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that we've been watching lately. We're going to do a round robin, which is what we started last week. We kind of just ping pong off each other. Some of us have seen some of the same things. So we will go ahead and start with Chris. You watched Scavengers Reign, which I have seen
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, it's a great anime. I would put it
Kind
in that
of
category.
anime-ish.
The art style is fantastic. I love it.
Really, it should be defined as a show that one watches on drugs.
Could be. Okay, so you're getting more into the universe
Right.
of the series,
Yeah.
which is it is fucking
Wild.
trippy. Like it is the most wild. Like they're coming up with things that I've never thought of.
Right.
Just like
It's wild.
telepathic, body consuming. Just I
It's
don't
a-
know.
This is an otherworldly show.
Okay.
And
It
just
is.
any otherworldly weirdness that you can not imagine is here.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
it's beyond my concept of reality.
Yes.
And they've done a great job
wild.
with that. So basically the premise is that there's a ship it's traveling through space, gets hit by some bullshit with a sun and fucking radiation,
Uh-huh.
and they have to make a crash landing or eject some pods into a planet that is uninhabited as far as humans go, and
Mhm.
it is a very dangerous, wild planet that is, and that's what we're
That just
talking about.
wants to kill you.
Yeah,
Everything wants to kill you on this planet. And also, everything, whether it be a plant, an animal, whatever, has a weird characteristic, a weird feature, and can just do weird shit.
yeah,
Everything.
yeah, and
Okay.
that's like the main thing that I appreciate about this is the universe is so out of this world. It's something that's I've never experienced in any other episode or any other series.
Yeah.
Just like how they portray the animals and environment.
Yeah.
It's just so foreign and it's great. I
It
love it.
is. It's
That's
really
the
cool.
biggest part of it. And the story is good as well.
It's a
Like
little slow-ish.
it is. It's 100% slow burn as far as like
It's really hard to describe. It's just like you're just watching weird shit happen all the time,
Yeah.
yeah.
but like at a slow burn. Like I said, this is a
Huh.
show you get high as shit and you melt into the couch and you're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's literally that. Like that's what the show is.
Yeah. I would
Straight up.
I would 100% watch this.
Vex Electronica, who is one of our most critical reviewers within Criticalist, she is brutal and hates a lot of things,
Oh.
and she gave this 100%. So
She's just
that's a good
highly
thing.
critical.
She is very critical. We regularly disagree, and I give her a lot of grief for it. But I do like to hear her thoughts. She's very articulate and does some excellent reviews. And she gave this 100%. And I haven't finished the show. I've only seen like 3 of them. I don't know. Did
Oh,
you finish,
okay.
Chris?
No, I'm at like 9 out of 12. I think
Okay.
is what it is.
So, and also just so you know, this was a Max original. It will even tell you that it is that, but now it is on Netflix, which is really weird. So it's a Max original on Netflix. The show technically got canceled, but people are hoping that Netflix is picking it up because it is very loved and people are like, this show's cool and they need to make more of it.
yeah.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Probably not.
It's only on Netflix because HBO and Netflix have a deal, and that's why we've seen all these
Probably.
DC things on Netflix. It's
Which
not
Netflix
isn't
is
big enough.
really leaning into anime right now. And
It
they
is.
they know that they have a
They
market
have-
for it. They have more users
Yeah.
than HBO Max does. There is a chance maybe they could pick this up.
Mm,
Like
maybe.
they could. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't hold your breath. But also, this show's worth checking out either way. Now,
Yeah.
granted, neither of us have finished it.
Right. Yeah, and I'm interested to see how it ends. Like, so where this show goes. So whether or not anything needs to pick it up is debatable. But I enjoy where it is right now, and it's a good story. Very like a loner based. Like most of the stories that they focus on, there's a lot of different groups
Right.
in this abandoned.
The different pods that have been dropped off.
Yeah.
Groups of people.
Yeah, so there's escape pods and different groups are involved with it. Most of them are individuals. So there's a few that's like a person and a robot, and there's one that's a person.
Right. A couple
So-
somebody that's on their own. Like it's
Hmm.
it is a very interesting approach. I'd be interested to see
Yeah.
what you would think about it, Matt. Like I said, it really I think this show does benefit from a little
Yeah.
bit of being under the influence, super chill environment. Just like I'm just
Yeah.
gonna post
Okay.
up and like do this.
How long are the episodes? Are we
Like
talking 20
30
minutes? Are we
minutes,
talking an
20, 30
hour?
minutes. No, 20,
30
30
minutes at most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
yeah,
it-
that's an easy
and
kind of
it-
binge
it is
then,
a-
if you're into it and like
right.
Yeah.
feeling the vibe.
And it is a Western anime, if you think about that. Like it's clearly
Yeah.
American made, like it's kind of that American style animation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Which I really enjoy.
I do too.
It's good. It's like old school animation.
Mhm. It's very pastels.
yeah, and it's not super detailed,
No.
which I feel like is the Western style. Like
Mhm.
just the bare minimums and
It's a minimalist pastel type of animation. I think of almost like there was a Netflix show that I loved for a while. It was about a young girl. It started with a K. Kira.
Oh, the one
where she turns into a
Yes.
yeah.
Tiger or something.
Yeah.
Car and the Beast.
Something beast. We'll
Mhm.
we'll hunt this down while we're talking. I can go ahead
I
and
know
talk
what
about the next show. Maybe Matt can find it.
Yeah.
But I really liked that show. The animation kind of reminds me of that, but less colorful.
Yeah. and less detailed.
And less
Like this
detailed.
is very just like
Minimalist.
minimalist
Yeah.
for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
But a solid show.
Except for the environment is so nuanced.
It's so wild.
It's
It's like,
ridiculous.
here's a plant that you can take apart and lick and stick it to this, and it's going to cause electricity. And then you
Yeah.
plug it into this bug, and it does this. And then you're connected to this beast that walks around and does this other thing. Like, it's just wild. It's the
Right.
weirdest shit
and
you've
it
ever seen.
plants a bean in your chest, and you turn
Yes.
into a one-eyed cyclops wall being, and it's
Some
so
it's some
wild.
trippy drug
Yeah.
shit, like, for sure.
Yeah.
But it is wild. It's
But
pretty
it's
cool.
good. It's great, and
It-
I enjoy like the story is
Kipo.
Kipo,
Kipo,
yes.
yeah.
Kipo.
And the
Mhm.
legend of
Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts.
Wonder
That's it.
Beast, yeah.
Bam.
Which is a cool animated
Yeah.
show that you could watch with your kids if you want to see a Western anime with a lot of good music. But,
Yeah, great soundtrack.
So I guess I'll pop on to the next
Sure.
one. A show that several of you have been curious about me watching season 2. Not a ton of you, but I haven't dropped my review yet. This show is not super known, but the show is called Outer Range. We do have some reviews within Criticless. There are only 4 right now, but out of those 4 reviews, we have Black Wolf with 100%, DJ Megs with 100%, I Miss Good Movies with a 96, Kyle F. Script with a 90. So if that tells you anything, this is sitting right now, even though it's not that many people, at somewhere in the upper 90% range.
Yeah.
And I am going to be up there as well. I think that this is one of the best things on TV that no one knows exists. Basically, this show, the best way to describe it is this show is Yellowstone meets Twin Peaks. It is the perfect descriptor for this show. It is like if Twin Peaks didn't hold so much back and like not have reveals where like a lot stayed super weird in Twin Peaks, but never was explained.
Mhm.
This show explains things, and as you go, things make sense, but it also gives you more questions, but not in a bad way. But it is also very much Yellowstone in the fact that this is very much a Western. Josh Brolin is the lead star in it. He is excellent. He is great as a cowboy. We've all seen him in No Country for Old Men, which is awesome. Like, it's kind of, we're getting that version of him. But this show is also super weird, like Twin Peaks at points where like characters will break into song and be in a music video, and you're like, what is happening? This show's wild. I'm telling you, this show is freaking wild. But like, also, I mean, Imogen Poots is in it, and she is an absolute adorable cutie. Like, I think that she is great in this show. She's batshit crazy, but like, you've seen her before.
Did
Chris.
you say Imogen Heap?
Poots?
Imogen
Oh.
Pooty Poots.
Do you know Imogen Heap?
Yeah, I do.
though?
The singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no. This is the actress. She's just, I really like
Got
her.
a good
She's
poot.
yeah.
Okay.
She but also Tom Pelfrey is in this, who I've really loved a lot. He was in the Ozark show.
Uh-huh.
And he's been in other things as well, Banshee and Love and Death and Iron Fist. He was the villain in Iron Fist. He's an excellent actor.
Who's he in Ozark?
Ozark? He is the crazy
Son?
brother.
Brother.
Yes, he's the
Oh,
unhinged brother
okay.
from Ozark. He's in this as well. Like, I really kind of love everything about this show. It is kind of slow burning, but to me, they dole out the explanations and all of that. I don't want to say too much because this show really, if you really know the crux of what it's about, is kind of a spoiler for season 1. And so many people haven't seen it that I would say to watch it. I don't really want to say too much. Just know that this is a sci-fi Western. Like, it is a sci-fi Western mystery drama.
Cowboy
but-
Bebop?
Nah, not quite Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
No, that's very sci-fi.
So
Not that
you
kind
mean
of sci-fi.
Cowboy versus Aliens?
No, no. Also, there are no aliens in this show. But
Okay.
this show does some interesting sci-fi things, but in a not overly sci-fi way.
Okay.
More of a mystical sci-fi.
Okay.
So I don't know a better. I don't want to spoil it. So
Yeah.
but I just know that
Check it
I highly recommend Outer Range. When I review it, it will be in the 90% range. I've seen both seasons. I blew through season 2. I think season 2 is even better than season 1. This show is awesome. Excellent acting, like story.
Is it
It's cool.
animated or
No,
live
it's
action?
live
Okay.
action.
No.
Yeah, this is a cool show. It's basically about a rancher and his family who have a mysterious hole on their property, and the hole does something. And I think that this is actually, I think that this is actually someone came up with this idea based off of Mel's hole. This is an actual like conspiracy theory of a real place in the world, in America. This guy who found a hole on his property, and he throws things in it, and it has no bottom, it has no end, no one knows where it goes. And this is an actual thing in real life. Have you heard of it, Chris? You're pointing. You might have
Uh,
heard me talk about it. Before, I
No,
don't know.
so the first thing that came to mind whenever you said that was what's
Hmm.
the animated?
Gravity Falls.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
I think
there's
that
the
they
The
also took.
episode with the endless pit.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that they
Yeah.
also took that from Mel's Hole. It's an actual conspiracy. In well, I think it's not a conspiracy. It's just
It's just
or it's not a theory.
it's just a
fact.
pit that's
It's
endless.
It's an endless pit. I mean, he has thrown endless amounts of trash
Also
and like
known as my
furniture.
asshole.
You can put whatever you want in it.
Endless.
Also, it's whatever goes in is not coming back.
Mhm.
So
You'll come back. Maybe not back.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's a cool concept. I don't want to say too much, but it's wild. It's really wild and it's cool. And there are actually other famous people in it as well that you will see and recognize too. So it's cool. This is a cool show.
Nice.
I hope
What's it on?
it's on. Oh yeah, I didn't say that. This is a Prime Video original.
Prime.
So
Okay.
yeah, this is a Prime original, and it seems like they're confident about getting a season 2. I feel like they're able
Three?
to, or season 3. Sorry, yes, I feel like they're able to make this for fairly inexpensive. Just with the type of show how it is, and
Yeah.
so, but with the way that they ended season 2, it feels like they are confident in getting to season 3. That's all
Okay.
I'll say. So
Okay.
Cool.
it's cool. Watch Outer Range.
Cool.
So
Sounds
Matt,
good.
you gonna talk about stop motion?
Yes, I want to talk about stop motion. So this is a new Shutter original, and
Shutter.
so along the same veins as a what was it, A Night with the Devil?
Oh, Late Night with the Devil.
Late Night with the Devil.
Yes,
So they put it in theaters for a short period
Did
of
they?
time, and then
I
it
didn't realize that.
quickly made its way over to Shutter.
This did clearly not do what Late Night with the Devil did.
No, from my understanding, it didn't.
This is a creepy little demon baby I'm looking at here.
This
That
movie
is.
does a great job of making the viewer very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
The whole premise is that it's a daughter of a famous stop motion creator,
Okay.
and the daughter is kind of like under the thumb of her mom and under the control, and then her mom has a stroke, and the daughter is like, "Oh, I finally can create something I want to create."
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, it starts getting out of control, and like the freedom that this daughter has starts driving her kind of crazy, and she starts using like meat and things in her stop motion creations,
Okay.
and it kind of starts snowballing
Stop
there.
motion to life. Scary bits.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then she also starts like hallucinating her creations that are coming after her, and like
Right.
they do a really good job of being really creepy with this
Okay.
movie. But
Yeah, but
I gave this movie, I think I gave it a low rad when I reviewed
it
it.
is currently sitting on Criticlist at a 65% by 11 voters.
Yep.
So people have seen this.
Okay.
Well,
We
yeah,
do
because
have a-
when it hit it,
well,
all the horror folks were coming out.
we have a lot of horror people in the app too. So
Oh yeah.
it is sitting. We've got 240%, we've got a 20%, but then we've got a slew of rads here, like a 75, 78, 76.
Yeah, there
We've
I
got
am.
John Parks, Young Queasy. There's Matt. Gave us a video here. Xena reviewed it and even gave it a most excellent at a 80%.
Right.
But she's the only most excellent.
But it's funny
Is that a
because
participation trophy? Is that a
no,
Blaine kind of
no,
review?
no. Her reason for most excellent was that she was like, I don't know if I hated this movie or if I love this movie,
Okay.
because they made it to the point where I was supposed to not like it because I was so uncomfortable.
Okay.
And
Well,
so
if
she
there's
and I
anything
had
you
that
know about
discussion.
you, is that you don't like to be uncomfortable. So,
Well, and
or
that's
is this a different type of uncomfortable?
no. It is a different kind of uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's not like a socially awkward, like oh my god, this is so
Like
awkward.
when
I'm
Matt
gonna die.
witnesses versions of himself on television, he just
Yeah.
doesn't know how to cope.
Right, exactly.
Anything
I have
involving other
nothing
people.
common
Right.
with this chick,
Yeah.
but it was one of those things where Xena was like, I don't know, do I hate this movie? But did they do that on purpose?
Okay.
And so she landed on, I think they did it on purpose. So I'm giving it a most excellent.
Okay.
And so does on purpose make it better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you step back and you think about it, like, wow, did I hate everything about this?
Right.
Because it was on purpose.
Right.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
that's where she landed on. It was most excellent because of
That's
that logic.
Okay.
Where for me, my beef with the problem with this movie was it was such a slow burn.
Okay.
Mm,
It takes a long
And I really struggle
time.
with horror movies that are that slow of a burn.
Right.
Personally.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let's get to it. I know this is a horror movie. Like, what are we
Right.
doing?
Let's get into the horror a little bit.
Right.
And it does take a long time to get there. And then it was predictable.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of twists. This isn't one of those movies that's like, It's not a Shyamalan movie. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
You know, I have a really, really weird tangent where
Sure.
you're talking about slow burns. You reminded me of something that I saw the other day. So we used to have a show, for those that don't know, it was called Critically Aroused. If you want to go find our podcast episodes, they are connected to the Criticalist Cast
Yeah.
podcast, so you can find them. There was a movie that we reviewed many, many years ago, and it was about a deaf heavy metal drummer.
Dude, brother,
Sound
the
of Metal.
Sound of
The
Metal.
Sound of Metal.
Where?
It was
Where-
so
It was
good.
so good.
Huh?
I don't know why this just popped into my mind.
Okay.
It popped into my mind the other day because somebody in the app was in Criticalist was talking about metal music and it triggered it. And I was just like, oh my God, that movie. It was like a slow burn, but also like so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, anyways, I don't want to send us off on too much of a tangent, but that
But
movie
a non-metal slow burn is a different thing
than a
or
horror
no, sorry,
movie.
non-horror
horror, right.
slow burn
Yes.
is a different thing than
Absolutely.
a horror slow burn
Absolutely.
when it comes to movies.
But yeah, that was a really cool movie is watching a
So good.
guy that's a drummer
Yeah.
in a heavy metal band.
Go deaf.
Go deaf. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Talk about an emotional movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
The
was
way it
something
ends
else.
too.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Chef's
So yeah,
kiss.
if you
Mhm.
have not seen The Sound of Metal, I would
Yeah.
I would recommend checking it out.
Yeah.
Sure.
We can put it in the show notes if we think about it or
Yeah, if I remember.
something. But yeah, yeah, it's a cool movie. So sorry
Yeah.
to tangent us, but
No,
we do have a
that's fine.
review on it from a long time ago. So back when it
Right.
came out,
Right. We can go listen to our reviews and then write a review on it.
I have done that actually with the
Have you?
Criticalist. Yes, I have. I went and I like cherry picked and was like, okay, I want to do a review for this. I don't really want to go watch it again, but and I would
Okay.
I kind of like I did
Yeah.
it for possibly Midsummer or something. But
Okay. Can we
um,
do a review
Wait,
for that?
did we?
I think we
Yeah.
did. Maybe not.
I know.
There was
I don't
something.
recall.
I watched it
There was
at
Yeah.
your
one of those movies,
behest,
but
and
anyways.
I really enjoyed it.
Jesus, you son of a bitch.
It's good.
Chris, so you watch a show that has been out for a long time called The Good Doctor.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I was
why?
just,
What caused this?
I was just in the mood for like a Friends level drama, easy going, easy watching.
Background.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like nothing that took a lot of effort from me. And that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
But honestly, like there's a lot of episodes. So I watched the first season of there's two different drama shows that I watched, which I was gonna mention. The other one that I
You
watched
mention it.
was The Rookie, which
Yeah.
was it's Nathan Fillion
Yeah.
as being cop. As these are both just like very
It's network television.
yeah, it's the
Network
most
television going to network television.
Yeah.
right. The most basic of basic. Like if you have basic cable, this is the kind of
Not
shows-
even if you have an antenna.
right. Yeah, a digital antenna. Like this is the
I
most.
don't know. Aren't
basic
these
of
like
basic.
TBS shows
Mm-mm.
and stuff?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, one of them's ABC, I think.
They're both network television.
Oh,
One of them is like Fox and one of them is like ABC.
okay.
Or maybe
Which-
both Fox. I don't know. Either
Right.
way.
Either way, it's very predictable as far as what you're going to get out of it. But I was actually pleasantly surprised with The Good Doctor. It is unsettling because it's about an autistic doctor.
Super smart, young, autistic.
Yeah, he's got savant syndrome, but he's also autistic, so his social skills are very lackluster, and that's what's the most like triggering part of it is where like Matt, you would hate it because
Yeah.
of just like the awkwardness that
But
comes along with that.
is it like the house
Kind
where he was like funny but like
No.
socially awkward?
He's not
Yeah,
funny.
this
He's
isn't-
super dry.
This is pure autism of like I don't understand how
Okay.
social interactions
Yeah.
work. Like I'm just going to tell you that you're dying of cancer with no like
No bedside manners.
easing it into it. Right.
There was
exactly.
actually an interesting scene that went kind of viral from the show that people couldn't believe that they did because of it involved medically dealing with like a trans person.
Yeah.
And
that's the
he's just like,
first
yeah, but
season.
this person is medically
Right.
like this type of a gender. Like
Yeah.
I and he's so autistic, he's just like, no, but like that's what this person is.
Yeah, X,
But
Y
what actually
chromosome.
matters
Yeah.
when it comes to medical,
Right.
is that this person needs to be treated this way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and that is it's a very interesting episode. That's in the first season, which I only watched the first season. I think it's in the first season. But it he does start off that way to where it is medically, where he's just like he's calling him a he,
Mhm.
where they identify as a she,
Sure.
and it's a great balance. They do it very tactfully. Of like it's a medically balanced as far as
The
you know,
care.
they're starting as like, yeah, well, this is a he, like regardless of what you identify with, and it turns out that the patient has testicular cancer as a identifying as a female.
Mm-hmm.
But as it goes along, like he the doctor, which I don't even know his name. I can't think of his name. But
He's
like
Dr.
It's
the
Sean Murphy.
the good doctor, yes,
Is-
Sean starts identifying him as a she. So I start calling her her,
Mhm.
and so it's a good balance as far as and I don't know. I'll spoil this just because it's an interesting topic and it's very culturally
Relevant.
divisive and relevant. Of just like the way that they go about transgender care is like starts off it being purely medical, and then it turns into him, like agreeing with them as identifying as female, but the overall care, because it's testicular cancer, there she was wanting to get rid of both
Right.
of her testicles and being
Right.
like, well, I'm going to get this done eventually, like just go ahead and get rid of them both rather than just one that's cancerous.
Right.
But the doctors decide to only get rid of one, and being like, because we get rid of both, like you won't ever be able to have kids, and
Right.
so we shouldn't have this decision made with you being a
In
child.
distress.
Well, and that's also like under 18.
Right.
You're like 14 years
Oh,
old,
Which is
so
also
like-
surprising on modern
Yeah.
television. For
Oh
them
man,
to do
right,
that.
so it's
I fully thought you were talking about like a mid-20s,
no,
30-year-old.
it's a child
It's a young
for
person.
sure.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay.
they're well under 18. So they play the balance very well as far as like being able to respect people's
I honestly can't
identity.
even believe they decided to tackle this and handled it
Yeah.
that kind of way.
Right.
Honestly,
Yeah, so it's
kudos for that.
right.
Yeah.
Very, very well done for this episode. They respect people's identity and understanding as far as like people committing suicide based off of gender dysphoria and like thinking whatever they want to think, and identifying a certain way, and the way that impacts their mental state. So
Right.
they respect that perspective of it, but
Mhm.
then they also respect the medical side of it, of like this is a permanent decision. So like if
Right.
you do this, you're 14 years old, you don't
know the
know
destruction that you
what
might
you're
do.
going to want whenever you're
Yeah.
older. And sure, maybe you'll stick with that. Like
Right.
I can say as a hardcore punk kid, whenever I was in
Right.
my teens, I said I would never do a lot of things,
Right.
and a lot of those things have become a lot more flexible.
Right.
That's not my gender or sexuality identity. So,
No, he's
Or
fully talking
is
about
it?
butt stuff. If you weren't picking that up, he was talking about butt stuff.
take that with a grain of salt. But it's
Yeah.
changed a lot. So I respect the way they handle it. It's very tactful and precise. So
Yeah.
Okay.
there was
And
a
then
lot
the rest
to
of the
say
show is
about, yeah,
right.
that
Just
was
one
episode, but
yeah, sorry I sent us down that tangent, but
Yeah.
I just remember that coming out and people being like, "Wow, this is surprising that it was handled with any level of tact from both sides of the aisle." Like
Yeah.
it was just intelligent.
Yeah.
So
with that to say, I mean, it's still just it's like bullshit. Like it's just
network television.
yeah, it's
like,
a network television
episode of the week.
Exactly. Like you watch it, but surprisingly, it does have a lot of emotional hooks in it, so it is good in that sense.
Right.
So I enjoyed it. It was
I've been
good.
kind of in the same boat. I talked about a few weeks ago watching that show Ghosts, and
Yeah.
like I've just kind of been
Yeah.
in the mood for like something that I could
Simpler times.
easily watch. No skin off my back. Just put it on.
Yeah.
I keep doing that with Ghosts. I'm still watching it. Season 2. They did get more political. It's not unwatchable, but it has. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on talking about that today. But actually, what I want to talk about was Ripley, which is the new show on Netflix based off of the talented Mr. Ripley, which has been 2 previous films. I've not seen the original, but I've seen the Matt Damon version. I love it. I think it's an excellent movie. It's wild and just a very interesting film. Now, a lot of people talk about talented Mr. Ripley being a bit slow. We were talking about slow burns. It is very much a slow burn, but when you get to the meat and potatoes of talented Mr. Ripley, I think it is totally worth the ride, and the elegance of it, the color of it. It's in, Italy, and you're near these coastal, sides, and there's
Okay.
the water coming in and the cliff sides, and there's
Mhm.
also this mystery of like this crazy dude that's getting involved with all these rich people, and like it is intriguing enough to pull you along. I love talented Mr. Ripley. This show, they decided since they were remaking it, it's going to be a television show. It's going to be 8 episodes long. You're going to drag something that they previously talked about being slow out into 8 episodes, and we're also going to make it fucking black and white.
Oh wow.
We finished the second episode, and Sydney, who you guys might have seen on previous episodes, my wife, she watched it. She loves Talented Mr. Ripley, like a lot.
Yeah.
Really wanted to see this. I was like, let's watch it. Episode 2 ended, and I was like, I am so fucking bored that like I do not want to see any more of this show.
Yeah.
Like if it was at least in color, I might give a shit. Like it is, because they're in these, you can tell it's these beautiful places, and it's just like black and white, and I'm like, I don't even know if it's a cloudy sky out. Like I don't know if this is a beautiful sky or like if it's just gray. Everything's fucking gray.
Yeah.
And like I understand the artistic take, and the movie is very noir. This is extremely noir, but just with the slow burn and it being black and white, dragging this out into 8 episodes, and like it is fairly sticking with the beats of the movie. They're just making it drag out even longer. Like it just feels like a terrible decision.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, I know we just came to off of talking about trans stuff. I'm going to bring us back to it. They made a decision to cast someone in a role from the original film. This person, I don't know if they're trans. I think they're more of like a non-binary they, them. They're playing a male role. It is clearly a biological female. It doesn't fucking work. And I just couldn't buy it. And I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like I was already bored, and I'm like, you gave me this character that you're telling me is a dude, and it's clearly not, and it doesn't work for me. Like I just don't like. I like that you're not making a big deal about it, but like also you're trying to convince me that this is a male, and this is a very male acting character, and it's a very feminine person, and like, and actually, believe it or not, this is Sting's daughter biologically. Who now just doesn't identify as anything, I guess, so like a non-binary, whatever. Right. Yeah, just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But so it's Sting's biological daughter. I'm not trying to like dead name stuff here or whatever accusations, but like when that character came along and I was already bored and didn't want to watch it, and I'm just like, this is not a male character. It was originally played by like a very masculine person and was a very interesting role, and it just didn't work for me. I was like, I already know this story. I know this character. This doesn't work. I don't like it. And so I was like, I gotta bail. I'm bored. I don't want to see this anymore. So anyways, that's Ripley. I mean, I hate that happened. Like,
is Sid gonna watch it anymore?
I don't know, because with it being so slow, she struggles with slow burning things. And without me pulling her along through it, I don't think she'll stick with it.
Okay.
Honestly.
Because I mean, as you said, she loves
the
Talented Mr. Ripley.
She
so I wasn't sure if she'd be like, I need to know where it goes.
I think that she will try, and I would bet you a large sum of money that she will not make it more than one more episode.
Okay.
Because it burns that slow. It is one of the slowest burning things I've ever seen in my life.
So are they replaying the movie
in
or
8
is
episodes
it a
of
separate...
hour-long episodes.
Okay, so it is the same story.
It is essentially the same story.
You're not even getting anything new out.
There is new details, maybe, because they're taking more time, but I would say just go back and watch the Matt Damon film because it's phenomenal. Like, don't waste your time with this, personally. I know that people are probably liking this. Like, it did not do it for me. The black and white in these gorgeous locations takes away all of the actual, like, glamour of that original film.
Yeah.
Or, well, technically the second film, but the one that everyone knows. But yeah, it is a very interesting story because it's about this guy who is, man, I don't even want to say too much if you don't know about this, but it's a story of murder and mystery and intrigue.
But basically, go watch the Matt Damon movie.
Yes, watch the Matt Damon movie. Actually, also, if you watch the new movie that Saltburn very much was like borderline a ripoff of the Talented Mr. Ripley, but like
with like the superhero kid that goes.
No,
you're talking about Brightburn.
Oh, this is Saltburn. It's a dude who like drinks jizz out of a tub.
Oh, yeah, sex
with
the ground.
Yeah, the ground humper.
That movie basically is like a cheap ripoff of the Talented Mr. Ripley.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, I would recommend Talented Mr. Ripley OG over all of this. So, Ripley on Netflix, meh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bring us all home.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for you to talk about this. I'm curious.
Yeah. So I've been watching the Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
Xena's been out of town. So I was like, you know what?
I'm surprised you decided to watch this without her because it seems like something she would choose to watch.
I think she'd already watched the first season.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know, I'm just going to put it on. It's one of the things where I can drift in and out of because, you know, I don't like Danny McBride that much.
Right.
but I was like, I want to give it a chance because of everybody else in the movie.
Right.
So I finished the first season.
Okay.
And I'm partially through the second season.
So you're still going. So you're not turned off by the show.
No, I'm not turned off. Is this a comedy?
No. Yes, it's so funny.
Fucking not
But
funny.
is it? Oh, it's not funny.
in
It's
any
super
way.
funny.
I laughed
It's
maybe
super
once the first season.
I laugh a lot in this show.
It's not funny to
Not
you.
funny.
To Matt.
Danny McBride is not a funny individual.
He's very funny.
So the only time he's
Historically.
funny is late in the season. And I don't want to say it because it is so late in the season, but like,
No, you can't tell me that Keith is not fucking hilarious.
No.
You don't.
no, the
Have
only
you
way,
queefed?
the only way.
I mean, that should be his name.
Queef is hilarious.
So let me explain. The only way I've made it this far in the show
Okay.
is I do not look at this movie in a comedy
Okay.
in any way.
is it a
okay,
movie?
the show.
Or is
No,
it
no,
just
the
a
show. Sorry, the show.
Okay.
So the only way I get through this is that I look at this as some sort of
Mockumentary.
ridiculous mockumentary of mega churches.
Yes. For the record, I
Sure.
have given the show a 92%.
There are currently 2 reviews, and it's Blaine and his wife.
Is also true.
Yeah,
I've heard great things about it.
It's very good.
Outside of Blaine
Yeah.
and his wife.
and I mean it's well done. The cast is great. I just don't think it's funny.
This is also, we have mentioned already on this episode, Matt does not deal well with cringy things.
No, it's not that it's cringy.
You don't find this cringy?
No, I just
okay.
don't think it's funny.
Oh, wow.
I think they're all
Also,
trying.
another
Another
Matt
Mattism.
is historically known
Yeah.
to be really good with humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, but I just think this is a try hard. I think they all
Interesting.
try too hard. Each character tries too hard,
Hmm.
but I think they're all, and that's what I was saying. Like when I think about this, I
Okay.
think they're all being like, what is the most extreme version of this character I
I mean,
can
that
play?
is, that is definitely
Yeah.
what they're doing.
And so it doesn't come across as funny to me.
Okay.
But so far, I think the first season I would give a high decent.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the second season, I think I'm 3 or 4 episodes in.
Okay.
I'm gonna also sit in the decent range with it. I like the second season more so far than
Okay.
the first season, but it seems a bit of a slow burn.
There is an
They're
epic amount
definitely
of.
like slowly grinding gears, I feel.
It is a slower burn for a comedy in a sense because they actually are like surprisingly telling a lot of story in
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah.
But there's so many famous people in it, which Walton Goggins is like the it man right now after doing Fallout and playing the ghoul.
Yeah.
He's in this and he's phenomenal. He is one of the most memeable people in this show, like gifs and memes.
Baby
galore.
Billy.
Baby Billy, which I've started calling my my nephew Brantley. I call him Baby Brantley after the show. But yeah, it's I don't know. I find this show very funny. I
Yeah.
understand this is not a Matt comedy.
No.
I think Chris, you would find this super funny if you were
Maybe.
involved with
Yeah.
churches in any caliber, especially Southern churches. You will find this to be the funniest shit ever. Actually, for the users, if you are watching, just knowing the South and Southerners and all that stuff, if you have not watched this, I would recommend it to you. But
Mhm. South, including Australia. So
yes, Jeremy.
I miss good movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking out for you. But yeah, no, this show is it's trashy humor. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very much
Yeah.
Danny McBride humor.
Right. And it is interesting. Like
The
this
story's
takes place in South Carolina, which, as we discussed last week, I believe,
Right.
is the armpit of the Carolinas.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
like,
it's our
I-
shit stain.
Yes,
I
it
spent my
is
high school
actually.
years there,
Yeah.
so like I do recognize like the shit that's going on
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
it. I just don't.
And it's where Danny lives now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, that's where he's living, which he's filmed shows exactly where we are currently,
Oh, yeah.
basically
Oh,
like
yeah.
in our town.
Yeah.
Like he's very much a local type of dude.
Yeah.
Which if you hear him talk, he talks like all of us if we bring out our accents, but
if we weren't educated.
yeah, if we weren't educated.
Yep.
My education real helping me.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad you've lasted this long though. I would have expected you to bail out sooner, so at least
It's-
you put it in decent range.
Right, and it's one of those things where I will watch all 3 seasons.
Okay.
I want to see
Where it goes.
where it
Because
goes.
the story's absurd.
Well, and that's why I guess that's what keeps me watching it.
Right.
Is like the second season is more or less a murder mystery.
It's like watching a dumpster fire.
Yeah, and I'm like, how is this going
It's
to
hard
get
to look
worse?
away.
And
Yeah,
how are they
it
going to
is.
survive
Right.
out of this dumpster fire?
Right.
And I was like in my mind, I'm like, okay, they will survive.
but to
How?
what degree?
How
Yeah.
the fuck
Yeah.
are they gonna survive? Like, what
To what
bullshit's
extent?
gonna happen?
I think with you looking for things right now, Chris, I think you should watch this.
It's not
I'm
that
not
big.
looking for anything.
You're looking.
Except for love.
Oh yes,
Looking
always
for
looking
love
for
and
love.
all the
Brown,
wild
brown,
ways.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is a fun show. They've had 27 episodes thus far, so there's 3 seasons, like Matt said. They
Yeah.
are getting another season.
Yeah.
I think it's super fun. But I mean, obviously me and Sydney love it. I gave it a 92. She gave it a 82. So we're the
Yeah.
only ones that have talked about it thus far. But I
Yeah.
think it's fun.
And
It's
I'll
like
probably
Matt's
drop
original.
after I watch all 3 seasons.
Right.
I'll drop reviews,
Right.
a review,
A review.
and I'll kind
Give
of
it a
like
decent.
probably it's gonna be a decent, unless the
50.
3rd season is
Right.
mind-boggling that pops me up to a low rad.
Right.
But I'll
I'm
average
curious
my each.
It does
season.
continue to get more insane if that says anything. So
Maybe. So it's funny. I don't know why,
even if it scores a low rad,
but I keep comparing this to True Blood,
honestly,
and I'm not even sure why.
I
But I
mean,
do.
the southernness, the trashiness, the almost like soapy ridiculousness of it.
I
that
guess
makes
that's
sense.
what it is.
It
It's
is.
like
It makes
you switch out vampires and werewolves for
the-
religion.
yeah,
And here we are.
Church going rednecks, because
Yeah.
like this show's absurd. Like there is no doubt about it. But this is also the most success that Danny McBride has had out of one of his shows of this vein. Where like he did the baseball one, he did the vice
Yeah.
principal one.
Yeah.
Like, but this one's had the most success. In between these, he did one where it was vice principals. I actually thought it was very good and very funny, but it only got like 2 seasons and got canceled.
It was a show.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
all
it's
of it
literally
was
called
show.
Vice
Yes.
Principals.
Yeah, it was called
Oh,
Vice
it's called.
Principals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was, and it also starred Walton Goggins. He was the other lead, and he played like he played like a sassy, like one of those Southern guys. If you're from the South, you know the type I'm talking about, where like you're like, is that guy gay? But like he's not. But they have like a very Southern gay accent. But the
Feminine forward.
yes, feminine forward Southern man. He plays one of those. It's very much a type, and they're always married, and they're always maybe not gay, but he plays one of those guys. And
But they still have like 5 kids.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. But you're
like,
still questioning.
also, they behave like the gayest man you've ever met
Sure.
in your life.
They might touch you inappropriately.
Right, exactly. That's the character he's playing, which is interesting because it's
Not
also a
personal
character.
experience.
Right,
You're homeschooled.
right. Yeah.
Oh, this isn't school based.
No, it's church. It's church.
No, this is work related.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but he plays an interesting character that if you're from the South, you never see depicted in film. But that was on Vice Principals, and then he did the baseball one before that. I do not remember. It was Kenny Powers.
Eastbound Down.
Eastbound and Down. That was it.
Mm.
So, yeah, but this is the same like creators and all that of that
Yeah.
show. So, and this is the longest running so far. I think it's very funny. Actually, weirdly enough, if you listen to Sturgill Simpson shows up in season 3 randomly
really?
in like a redneck cult out in the
Well,
woods.
but that's the thing.
like-
Is this show is very good because, like, in the second scene, it's in Joe Jonas.
Yeah, let's clip that. This show is very
There-
good.
That's all.
Ha 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 ha. Not
Yeah.
Jonas isn't like
he
the
was going to say
Jonas
very
brother?
good about cameos because there's a shit ton of cameos in this show.
yes,
Like,
like
so many
Joe
different
Jonas is in an episode in the second season.
Yes.
As in the Jonas
What's
brother. yes.
Andre
The giant.
No,
3000.
No.
Oh, Agassi. The tennis player.
No.
Andre,
I
as
can't
in
remember.
the he does the TV
comedy
show
guy.
where it's super awkward, where he's like, "Let me in."
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
He's,
know what you're talking
he's in a couple episodes.
Yeah.
So they do have.
But, I mean, John Goodman's one of the leads. Like
Oh.
Adam Devine is one of the leads.
Yeah. What's the sister's name?
That she's
Sister.
Eddie Patterson. She plays Judy Gemstone.
Okay.
She's famous.
She
Her.
has to be
Eddie.
like one of my like least favorite
Oh, she's kind of the worst.
characters in the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, all the Gemstone kids
Oh, they're so cringeworthy. Like just
are all just
they're
unlikable.
just douches.
And they're all just douches and they all just have everything given to them. And it's
Mhm.
interesting because they show the backstory.
Like literally, Macaulay Culkin's in the show. So many
See, I
people
haven't
are
got
in
that
this
point
damn
yet.
show.
Is it Macaulay or
Macaulay.
is it
No, it's Macaulay.
Karen?
No.
Karen?
Macaulay Culkin is in this show. Like legit, actual
Really?
him. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So many people cameo in this show throughout all 3 seasons. It's wild.
Yeah.
Like they just keep bringing people in.
Right.
And I mean, there are people that I don't want to ruin for you that you're just like, what the hell is this person doing in this
Okay.
show?
Yeah.
Like it keeps happening, and I don't know how he's pulling this off to bring all these people into the show, but people just keep showing up.
I
Obama.
mean, I guess he's just like, hey, you guys want to come show up on one of my episodes?
I mean,
it's gonna
that's
be
pretty much it.
ridiculous. You
Like
only
Joe
have to come
Jonas
for
is
one.
playing himself.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, he literally shows up. He's like he's an investor, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm Joe Jonas. I'm here. Like, I'm gonna sing a song for you guys, and we're
Because
gonna
remember the whole
invest."
purity ring thing back in the day and whatever, they're leaning into like all of that
The
joke
hyper,
of them being
like
Christian,
being
very
like
Christian.
hyper
Yeah,
Christian,
sure.
religious.
Yeah.
You would really appreciate the show, like with our
Well,
raising and all that stuff. Like,
Look, you see all these rings? All
so
these
pure.
purity
So
rings that I have
pure.
on?
Yeah, it's so pure.
Yep.
Go ahead, show them the cock ring. Not that one. Not
Uh,
that one. But so that was basically all we were going to talk about
Yeah.
today, guys. I think it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're keeping it real. But guys, as always, welcome and thank you for joining us at another Unhinged Binge. This was fun. It's just like I said, this is our chill show. We're just shooting the shit, and Chris is pretending to play the
Skin
skin
flute.
flute. Yep.
Hmm.
Aha. There we go. But yeah, it's been fun. To all our new folks, if you're joining in, welcome. I'm glad you've joined the channel. We are continuously getting new people, and we do a number of different things. Most people come in via the news or Criticless, and then just stay for the antics. But it's been fun, and we'll review some of this stuff as time goes by. Chris will review nothing because he's a worthless sack of shit, and same as usual. But yeah, it's been real.
Send
We will
off.
see you. Yes, send off songs. Holy shit, I almost forgot.
That's why I was
He
doing
was
the
playing
skin
the
flute.
skin
Oh
flute.
no, I
or
just
It's
he's
music.
oh
he's
I
trying
didn't
to, like,
understand.
musically
He
inclined,
just
tell
I
you
thought
what
he
we're
was
doing.
being
Yeah.
Yeah, skin
Chris.
flutey.
Typical
Right.
Chris.
Right.
Yeah. No.
So what songs, I guess? And if you don't know, we do send off songs. We just send you guys off
When
with
Blaine
the music.
remembers.
Yes, when I remember, I will send you guys off with the song. Our format keeps changing like constantly, so I never know what's happening. But yes, we will send you off with a send off song, some music to listen to, and we have a playlist within our YouTube channel, so you can just go ahead and click on that and see all the songs we've recommended week after week. And so, Chris, what do you have, Mr. Wiener Whistler?
I have a skin flute special
Yes.
tonight, and
Mhm.
it is by Phantogasm.
Mhm.
Pentagram. Sorry.
Phantogram. Oh,
Phantogram.
Phantogasm. That's I mean
That's a different
I
band.
think it is a different
that's the
band.
gay porn he watched one time.
One time?
Okay.
Well, multiple times. Phantogram. All a Mystery is the name of the song. It's good. It's just a poppy, punky little indie song. It's a good time.
Yeah,
That's
they're a good
all I
band.
gotta say
Okay.
about that.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead. I'm gonna recommend another song by Royal Otis. I have done one of their songs before, but this time I'm gonna do Linger. Basically, what happened, what made these guys blow up was that they did this show for Sirius XM where they did some covers of other bands, and they did a Cranberries song called Linger. If you were alive in the 90s, then you know it. And even if you don't know it by name, you know it. But Linger was a great song. They covered it. It's excellent. Everyone's been begging for it, and it's finally on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere else. So just look up Linger by Royal Otis. It's an awesome cover of a Cranberry song that's very much like I don't want to call it acoustic because there's an electric guitar, but basically an acoustic version of Linger.
And that's the song that goes by like goes linger er
No,
eh eh
no,
eh eh.
no.
Right.
That's not the no. That is
We're
that
having some technical difficulties right now. If you want to join back in just like 30 seconds, we'll be right back. I hate to break it to you. Technology.
I want to make that into some kind of clip. I don't know what kind of clip, but that is going to be a
It's
thing.
a real bad.
That is a real bad clip. I don't know what that song was, Matt, but no one's ever heard it. No one.
You're talking about the Cranberries and Zombie.
Yeah,
is
you're
what I'm
talking
hearing
about
right there.
Zombie.
Yeah. This song.
No,
Literally,
no,
we just called it.
It's
no, it's not
this is
Linger.
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 Yeah.
As they said in Pineapple Express.
Yeah. So we'll let this linger a little longer.
It's not that.
Yeah.
If only we wouldn't get sued for playing this song, I would.
Holy moly.
You know, we won't get
Well,
sued for short clips.
I'm gonna
we're
sue
allowed like
you
5 seconds for just
that
singing.
just
For singing, you're gonna be
atrocity.
sued for that.
Yeah.
Making us endure that. So what song you have, Matt? Is
Oh
it
yeah.
is it
Yeah, what butt
Zombie
rock do
but
we
with
have
Linger?
tonight?
No. So mine is called King of the Hill by Silly Goose.
I mean, I love it already. Tell me, what is it like?
If you don't know, Matt has been alone with his child for the past week, and clearly he's been listening to artists like Silly Goose during the
I love it.
this past week.
Hit me with it.
What is this, Matt?
So it's a new metal band.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not.
What's
Is it like
new about the
kids metal?
No. Legit. Like it's funny because I like
Okay.
couldn't believe. So it's a mix of rap and like it's not like hard metal.
And
or
they're
hard
called
rock.
Silly Goose.
Yes.
Mm, yeah.
That's what you gotta listen
Sure.
to the song because it's really funny
Okay.
considering the band's name.
Right.
So you're like, oh, Silly Goose, and you're like, this isn't very silly of you,
You
you
silly
goose.
goose.
Yeah.
But-
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a new metal song.
Yeah. So
Cool.
it's not iron or copper. Or
Yeah.
Nope.
Brass.
newer.
It's a
gotta be
newer
like,
metal.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
An
Americanism.
unknown metal,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
one might say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely unknown.
Well, feel free to
Jinx.
check out our Criticalist
Podcast.
cast playlist. Podcast as well. Obviously, as always, like, subscribe, follow, comment, even if it's just saying you guys suck butt, like feel free to say that. You
Yeah.
know, we know mostly Chris, he's the one that does that, but you know, I mean,
True.
you
Look.
say whatever you want in the comments. Just boost that algorithm because we know that the algorithm lords are watching, and right now they are playing in our favor because I have been grifting my ass off. So
He has sold his soul
yes,
to many
the
of
algo gods.
Yeah.
So
Hey, you gotta grift what you got.
gotta grow this channel. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yes, it has been real. It has been fun. It has been weird. We've been talking about some crazy shit. It's been fun as always. And until next time, guys, suck a butt.
Suck butts.
Suck butts.
It's good.
Sweet.
We really